Holy menace, Batman! Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic, and we are playing Menace Tribal today. I haven't done this in quite a while. I'm really excited, and we're playing it in Standard 2021, which means, for all those who I talk about it consistently, I just want to let you know again that it's only these sets here. If you guys want to see the new sets that are out that come with this as well, you type in set A and B in search, and it lets you see a bunch of different cards that are available to you in this format here as well. For the most part, it didn't affect anything with Menace, so I just wanted to make sure I touch on that because I've had a lot of people asking in the comments, just making sure they knew how to do that again. That's how you do it. Anyway, Menace Tribal is a deck that I'm really excited to be jumping back into again. I've not played it since it like first came out with Ikoria, that we got the Menace cards, the Menace mechanic of like keywords being counters and actual like tribal things that you can do. And really excited to be trying to test this out, see how it does. And here's a deck that I threw together pretty quickly, and I think it definitely can like add a little bit of changes to it, alterations, but ultimately I think a very powerful deck here. So Menace Tribal, why is it worth playing Menace Tribal? Well, in Standard 2021, we actually lose a lot of our like cheaper Menace creatures. We have 0 in the 1-drop slot for Menace. We do have just like creatures we can put out and then put Menace counters onto them, but that was just a little bit harder to do. And so I was just trying to find the perfect deck here that would work with what we're trying to do. And ultimately, I'm really pleased with how this worked out. I'm really happy with it. And so this is what we came up with. So the reasons why to be playing Menace Tribal. First off, Labyrinth Raptor. Black, red, 2/2. Whenever a Menace creature you control with Menace becomes blocked, defending player sacrifices a creature blocking it. So if they're trying to double block one of our bigger creatures to try to kill it with tokens or anything like that, they're going to sacrifice one of them for sure. So we end up killing one, and then for the most part, we're going to be able to kill the other one with the Menace creature. So it's a 2-for-1 trade-off already if we get that with Labyrinth Raptor. Then we also have Sonorous Howlbounder, which says each creature you control with Menace can't be blocked except by 3 or more creatures instead of the normal 2, which is pretty busted. So we could end up having, if Labyrinth Raptor and Sonorous Howlbounder are out, we will be getting in with our creatures consistently. It's going to be really hard for them to block. If they do, we can end up pumping with our Labyrinth Raptor as well to give all creatures Menace +1/+0. Just a bunch of really cool stuff. And then we have like Embercleave on the back end to be like, just like, oh, you finally blocked with 3 creatures? Well, now for double strike. Booyah. It's just a really busted play style that we can have with this. The biggest issue is, of course, board wipes. Those will still be happening. You know, people just outvaluing us, going faster than we can. And so we try to mitigate that with just some other stuff in the deck. So all of our Menace creatures are Grim Dancer, Stormfist Crusader, Labyrinth Raptor, and Sonorous Howlbounder. That's not really a lot. That's 12 creatures with Menace. So it means we will be running into it for sure, but we don't have a ton. We do also have Frillscale Mentor, which has 3 mana, 3/2. Whenever it enters the battlefield, put a Menace counter onto non-human creature you control. I was having a hard time finding non-human creatures that were like in the 1-drop slot because most of the good ones are knights from Theros, or sorry, from Throne of Eldraine, that kind of stuff. And so it was really hard to try to find the right one here with Frillscale Mentor. So we only have 2 copies of this. It's not amazing. You can pay 3 to tap it, put counters onto each creature with Menace. It's a good card for like if we're in the grinding matchups, but we don't want too many of these. Then I decided to just go for value. Like, we are playing an aggro deck. We're playing good stuff. Might as well throw in the best aggro cards there are. So Bonecrusher Giant comes in here as a 3-up. I might go down 1 shock to go for the 4th copy of Bonecrusher Giant. In fact, let's go ahead and do that now. I think that ultimately it's just a really powerful card. If the nice thing about Frillscale Mentor is that it doesn't actually target Bonecrusher in a way that it will deal damage to us because it's not a casted spell. It's just a triggered ability. So we can give this Menace. A Bonecrusher Giant with Menace is pretty busted. One that takes 3 mana to hit and also has Embercleave on it is really busted. And basically the same type of thing with Tectonic Giant. Tectonic Giant is just a really powerful value card up in the top, and I wanted something to kind of finish us off, finish off the deck with us, something that can get through for a little bit extra damage on top of everything. And then the one last reason that we want to be playing Menace in general is Tentative Connection. And this is actually the reason I got back into Menace, because I saw this card like, you know what? Tentative Connection. I remember that being a good card. What does it even do? I forgot. And for 1 mana, in control of just target creature, doesn't have to be like Claim the Firstborn of Vermic has 3 or less. As long as we control a Menace creature, 1 mana, take control of a creature, and it just swings in and hits stuff. And so this can take Elder Gargaroths, which is one of the biggest issues with a deck like ours, where they are just gaining 3 life, putting out more bodies every single turn, all that kind of stuff. We don't have ways to sacrifice the Elder Gargorath or anything like that, but the goal is to basically do enough damage with this one turn, or maybe 2 turns with Tentative Connection that we get, that we can just close out the game. Because for the most part, they're not going to be able to block all of our damage. We have damage coming through with Stormfist Crusader, with just shocks and stomps to face, all that kind of stuff. So we should be getting their life total down pretty consistently. And then Tentative Connection for this type of deck is actually perfect because it just adds in that extra, potentially like 5 points of damage for 1 mana, which is pretty busted. It does require the right setups, does require lots of things like that, but it's really good, really powerful. I really like here too the Grim Dancer. 3 mana, when it enters the battlefield, you get 2 choice of counters, either Menace, Death Touch, or Lifelink. So this can be a Menace creature for us, but if we do just need a Death Touch, Lifelink, or some way to, you know, close out, you know, survive when there is a Gargorath on the battlefield or something like that, it's a great, like, versatile spell for us where we don't have to go with that. And then everything else in the deck is just filler. We have Scorching Dragonfires for some removal. It hits Planeswalkers as well. Shocks, Stomps, all hit Planeswalkers. So if we do run into those kinds of decks, we have answers. And then the Embercleave. So as far as mana base goes, I'm testing out a little bit different style with mana base because this is a deck where we don't want, like, speed is a thing. We want to make sure that we're hitting untapped lands consistently. So I only have 1 tapped land in here in the deck, which does fill our 2 colors. The Savai Triome has black, has red, adds white, which we don't really have any reason for, but that's fine. But we can also just cycle it away. So it's the 1 tap land, and then we have 4 copies of Fable Passage in just basic lands and our castles. I'm hoping that this ends up working out for us. Fable Passage, if it does come in tapped, that's fine. We can kind of play around it. It's pretty good. And I'm just going to see if this is good enough, if it's better to be trying to go for the scry lands, the tap lands, all that kind of stuff. But ultimately, I think that this is the kind of deck that we're wanting to have. So let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay, see how this deck does for us, and wish me luck. Up against Haircut, my nemesis. Just finding a haircut these days has been so difficult in general. Oh, oops. I meant to take off the text box here. There we go. Alright, so play Swamp, pass the turn. Knights in general. So Mardu Knights is a really hard matchup for us, ultimately. This may be bad. Yeah, let's go ahead and shock something. Kill the Crusader. Pass the turn. I guess if I was doing that, I should have waited until their next turn, but they could have Fight as 1. I think is played in this deck pretty often. So, this is just butter. Inspiring Veteran. Down to 15. Down to 9. Alright, so we have Stormfist Crusader to play out. I can steal one of their creatures and swing in. Maybe like Venerable Knight. They just let it go through here is the biggest issue. Like this is where it'd be much better if we had bigger things to play. If we have another black mana, I want to play both of these creatures out though. So I'm going to go ahead and use up my mana. I can go for the Falmar Knight. We'll go Venerable Knight. Swing in. I don't think we're going to get much bigger or better things with Tentative Connection. This is all about just playing a bunch of cheap things. And so while Inspiring Veteran can help out with our deck quite a bit, we're just going to go for what we can. And that's fine here. And we're just going to try to survive basically for the next couple turns. And another Inspiring Veteran. And this game is probably over. This is such an explosive deck when they get starts like this. And that is just an insane start. Okay then. Stormfist Crusader is killing ourselves right now, so that's great. Labyrinth Raptor, yay. Pass the turn. And we're dead on board, so we will shall continue. Alright then, let's move on to the next one. Alright, up against Anstakey. Let's keep it. Gilded Goosey. Triome, pretty sweet here. Get some black manas. Grim Dancer is the only card in our deck that requires 2 black. We're basically splashing black mana, so I'm fine having hands with lots of mountains in general. I want to go aggro, but man, that's a lot of ramp. Let's go ahead and kill the Heritage. Pass the turn. Get our trusty dusty MTG assistant up here. Yeah, really like this overall. If you guys want to check it out on YouTube, link down in the description below. It just lets you kind of know what things you can be drawing into here, as well as what the opponent has played on this side, and then it keeps track of your wins and losses off of everything. So pretty sweet stuff overall. All right, play out Fable Passage. Hexproof from black is annoying. I guess we just go Stormfist Crusader. Let's start drawing cards. Activate this, grab black mana, pass the turn. And now I'm kind of wishing I held on to that Scorching Dragonfire. At the same time, though, the Caryatid would be tapping for 2 every turn. They'd have so much, it'd be bad. No blocks. Take it down to 16. MTG Assistant slowed the game down for you? I've never experienced that. They've definitely improved it a lot recently as well. It's only been out for so long, and so it's been improved over and over again. And I find it to be better. That was rude. All right, so I can get out Stormfist Crusader and a Raptor. We take 4 more to get more card draw, or I can just put out a Bone Crusher out and just play. Grim Dancer as well could just be a really good blocker here. So I think I'd rather hold on to the Bone Crusher Giant. So Grim Dancer, let's go Lifelink and Menace. Yeah. Lifelink, Menace, play Mountain, pass the turn. Yeah, we came here just to block, but they probably have a pump spell. No pump spell, sweet. All right, we'll take it. Back up to 19. They only have 3 cards left. This is where we can, like, if we take away the card advantage Mono Green sometimes has, we actually get to pretty good shape. Sweetness. Feel the ooze. I guess we go for Bone Crushy. Like, we do want to play the Menace side of everything, but that doesn't mean you stop playing Smart Magic. You know, when you have a chance to play Smart Magic, you play Smart Magic. I know everyone in the comments gonna be like, when does Jeff ever play Smart Magic? You know what? It's a good point. Ooh, is this a completely dead hand? 1 card left. If they're not playing it, it probably means they don't have much of anything. I'm assuming it's just a land. So let's go with, let's go swing in first. Back in. Stormfist Crusader, Labyrinth Raptor. So holding onto this shock could be nice. Getting rid of the Gilded Goose might be the best play here for us, though. Just because it's 3 extra life every single turn. It slows down the game a lot. Caryatid, they already have so much mana with Castle Garenbrig and everything, I'm not as worried about it. So let's just get rid of this. What's up, Super Sensei? Welcome. And Darkest Thought, welcome for your first live stream ever. Hey, thank you so much. If you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure you click the link down in the description below to watch me on live stream. It's fun, it's grand. You'll enjoy it. What else? Do they attack in? I was gonna say they ought to. Perfect. Tectonic Giant. Tentative Connection, sweet. Alright. Let's go Tectonic Giant. Let's go Tentative Connection. Swing in. Can I take the 4 with Questing Beast this turn? I think so. We end up taking another point of damage, so we drop down to 9. But I think that this is fine. Alright, down to 6 with a bunch of power on the board. Tectonic Giant doing 3 points of damage regardless. Labyrinth Raptor being able to pump up here and here. So, and they take 1 from Stormfist Crusader. So this should be under wraps. The only thing is, like, they could have Great Henge or a few other ways to gain life. Gargaroth could be annoying. Alright, Gem Razor. Just another body. They sacrifice something when they block these guys, so we're at least getting in here. Primal Might, that is annoying. But they target us, so let's go ahead and deal 3 points of damage to your face. Yeah. Should have killed Bone Crusher, I guess? Labyrinth Raptor? I'm not really sure what's the best one to target there. Ooh, and Embercleave? Oh, yes. Alright. Yeah, okay. There we go. Swing on in. And it's game over just off of this, but then we also had the Evercleave, so that was good. Good stuff. Alright, that is the power Menace can have. Let's see if we can pull it together consistently over these games. Alright, this is a perfect hand. We get some black mana. We get everything going. Here we go. Fable Passage, pass the turn. That is one nice thing about not having tons of 1-drops, whatever. We do have shocks that we can play. Oh, no, not Lucky Clover. We need good artifact removal. Like a Braid. I kind of hope that a Braid comes back in Zendikar Rising. That is probably my #1 hope. That would be very, very nice. Carlos in the house. What's up? Welcome. Another Lucky Clover, and plays a bunch of 1-drops. Nope, okay, that's better. We don't get to play anything other than Bone Crushy here, and we could get Embercleave onto the Grim Dancer with Lifelink and Menace on the next turn, or we can take out their value engine, portion of their value engine here. I'm gonna be greedy. I think that we win this game by them not having some stuff and not having a really amazing next turn. We're giving them extra card draw every turn though with Swordfish Crusader. So we shall see. Greedy plays always. I'm so glad you guys feel the same way I feel. Alright, let's hope they don't have Bone Crusher. I am like, especially with extra card draw, almost 100% sure they do. If they block, alright, Embercleave. Onto Grim Dancer. Bam, that's a lot of life gain. That is a lot of life gain. Down to 6. Now Bone Crusher and stuff can go face. We can also just like steal a, with the tentative connection, that kind of stuff, we can start just like stealing things in the air. We took down Temur Adventures. They had 4 cards left in hand. They must have been terrible cards. That's a lot of tap lands. Are we okay with tap lands? We have Shock on turn 1, or turn 2, excuse me. I'm assuming this is all creatures, or it could be like the enchantment version. I'm gonna keep this hand. I mean, this is a ton of interaction. If it's all creatures, we have a good hand for creatures. Not the big creatures though, necessarily. Play the Triumph, pass the turn. Just got an emote, nice. Those emotes are so fun. Alright, not an untapped land. That's a little bit depressing. Pass the turn. Inherited. That's a decent target. He will shock you. He will crack you. Red mana. Again, we're mostly splashing black mana. We have the ability to grab the other ones. Hold up shock. Pass the turn. Alright, people in chat are saying that my audio is better now. I've done a few different things to try to fix it, and so we'll see if that continues to go. Yeah, my audio has always been a little bit quiet. If I go too loud, I end up having more problems. Unfortunately, that's just, I don't know, how this mic works for it. Trumpeting Gnaw. Okay, past my turn. Howlbonder is interesting. So I could kill this, hold up Bone Crusher Giant, and then play this later. Keeping bodies off the battlefield is pretty nice for a Menace deck. As Menace, so we're going to swing in first anyway. Down to 18. Not letting him have creatures to target with Mentor is important. Sorry, not Mentor, Mutate. So I think we go ahead and kill this now. Pass the turn. Yeah, that's part of being a parent, is keeping the noise to a minimum. It's just, it's in my blood now. I can't not do it. That's awesome. Alright, now we're basically taking our turn killing that on the next turn. That's also still fine though. Grab some black mana. I have been debating if bringing in some black removal spells like Heartless Act, everything might be better than, you know, Shocks and Bone Crusher. We'll see. Pass to my turn. So this is a mutate deck, right? That's what we've decided. So again, I think killing stuff on our turn is more important. So kill you. Kill you. They have another one. Bone Crusher Giant comes in as a good answer, hopefully. Temple of Mystery. Sweep the leg. Yeah, that's right. Gem Razor. Alright, let's actually start getting into for damage. Play the Menace creatures. Swing in. Down to 14 past the turn. Bone Crusher Giant is nice, but I think that the Howlbonder, making sure they just can't block any of these guys, that's, what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points of damage a turn. That's 2 turns, potentially. That still can't block. Not with this. Ooh, and Embercleave. Howlbonder first. Embercleave is good for the next turn. Swing in. And not block. Down to 7. Pass the turn. Yeah, with Gem Razor, I'd rather have Embercleave be the finishing blow rather than before that. Heritage. Gilded UC. Now they can block 1 creature. Howlbonder is so good. Like, this is lethal. They could have some tricky plays, but I think with the Labyrinth Raptor, we're fine here. If they have the bouncing Shore Shark, which they don't have enough mana for it, so attack in. So yeah, 3 things to block 1. So what they're trying to do is try to grab all 3 and block. That is one thing that is bugged in Arena, is that you can't snag all 3 to block a creature. You have to block 1 at a time, which is annoying. Kill the Carotid. Yeah, you sacrifice a creature. This does stack, so they have to sacrifice 2 creatures. Labyrinth Raptor is so good. So good. Yeah. Alright, and then we will go Embercleave. They could have some way to mutate onto Gem Razor, destroy the Embercleave. We also have the pump with Labyrinth Raptor. Like, we have the game. Actually, they did have 3 extra life total, but, like, we had them there, so it was all good. Dang, I like this deck a lot. A lot. Alright, up against Melekit. Bring it on. And keep it. Bro. I'm not sure if I want to have the black mana here or not for the Dancer. Or for the Embercleave, so we go red mana. Oh, it's a tough choice. Opponent is mulliganing a few times. Baiting on keeping, I think, a 5-land hand or not. We may have him just off of that. Who knows, though? I have one off of a 4-card hand. Yeah, lead off with Fatal Passage, pass the turn. We are going to give them a little bit more card advantage with Stormfist Crusader, which is kind of frustrating. Oh no! Grab. I guess we try to go for the curve. What we have, so go for Swamp. Alright, there, we found the mountains, so life is great. Alright, Stormfist Crusader, pass the turn. Yeah, Stormfist Crusader into Grim Dancer, into Embercleave, gaining a bunch of life. That's how we beat Temur Adventures last time. But we'll see what all they've got. Let's just draw. It feels like they have a Stompy here. Feel a little Stompy. I'm feeling the Stompy. Stompy. Harude. Another Grim Dancer. Those are good cards here. Alright, Lifelink. Man, actually, I could go Death Touch with the Embercleave. Death Touch with Trample and Double Strike is, we have another one, so let's do that for later. I'm kind of expecting this one to die, and so we'll go Lifelink Menace here first. Keep the game a little bit slower. Lifelink. Alright, we cannot put Embercleave on this turn, but I think we still swing in. I'm fine trading off with Robert here. Okay, down to 16. Grim Dancer. Let's go Death Touch Menace. Sure. So it has first strike. Gotta remember that. It's as long as it's on their turn. Okay. Draw some cards. Good for you. Yep, no blocks. We'll see if Ember Cleave here is enough to just close out the game. I'm assuming so, but we shall see. It let it through. I could go Grim Dancer, Stormfist Crusader, Ember Cleave on the next turn and just kill them. I think that's better. All right, down to 10. Grim Dancer. No, 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 no. I forgot I need to play the Fabled Passage. I messed that up. That was a big, big mess up. Death Touch Lifelink this time. So we have different ones for each one. We have the Lifelink Menace, the Death Touch Menace, and the Death Touch Lifelink. But Lifelink is pretty nice, yeah. So Grim Dancer Tron on the board. Things with Radha. I messed up. I was supposed to play another swamp there for the Ember Cleave, for the chance to play Grim Dancer and Stormfist Crusader. That's what was in my mind, and then I forgot about mana stuffs. So I call that a minor misplay, but absolutely a misplay. Grim Rock Knight. Okay. Castle Embreth. Do we have enough for that to be worthwhile here? I don't think so. We'll save that for later. Okay, grab Swamp. Swing in. Alright, so we have basically guaranteed 8 points of damage. So Menace creatures are going to be annoying for them. Rimrock cannot block. A Raptor would have been really nice here, so they sacrifice stuff as well. So this one, Death Touch Lifelink. So I believe that we have lethal. By blocking, by putting it here. So we have 3, and then this will do 1, 2, and then have, so it'd be 8, so 6 damage additionally. So we go to 9. I guess in that case, I'd rather kill Bone Crusher and Edgewall Innkeeper. We already killing those guys. So yeah, so put it onto this one. So down to 3, we lose 1 creature. They lose 4 creatures. Stormfist Crusader, pass the turn. Castle Embreth to give the pump. This should be game. Oh, sorry, Tabby. I haven't put up this deck for the deck command just yet. I need to do that. Alright, we're at 30. No blocks. We'll take it. Ember Cleave. Yeah, that's cool. But we're at 30. This is just their last-ditch effort. That's cool. Take it down to 2. And the Stomp. The Blammo. Alrighty, there we go. This deck is pretty sweet. It is rather fantastic. Alright, up against Hyper Violet. Bring it on. Keep this. I like Bonecrusher Giant with the Frilled Scare Mentor. Play the Swamp past turn. Labyrinth Raptor, pass the turn. Baby Godzilla. Ooh. Alright, how do you beat Mutate? Is it by killing the creatures early, or is it by holding off a little bit later? I think it's better to kill things early. Because Mutate stuff still hits even if they are targeting a creature, right? So, I mean, I think getting rid of it early is the best way to go. That also lets us have more turns to just get through with damage. So I can play this out, have a blocker. I could play with the Howlbonder and just getting in for 2 points of damage over and over again. I think I'm actually wanting to go Bone Crusher into Mentor or Ember Cleave on the next turn. And then we can get Mentor Menace the turn after Ember Cleave. So yeah, I think that's the better play. Yeah, cost reduction definitely is a thing. So yeah, they can play out So they just cost less if they have mutate, and so they can play some big things. All right, so bounces the Bone Crushy. Rude. Yeah, mutate is a really good. Guaranteed they have more mutate, right? So playing out Bone Crusher doesn't do a ton for us. Does anything do a ton for us here, though? Swing in. Play it out again. Like, hitting a land would have been really nicer so we can at least progress our board. But if we don't hit lands here, they just get so far ahead. So this may be our first loss. Yeah, double bounce. Oh, what a hand. Just getting rid of Migratory Greathorns. That's a bad sign. that means so much ouch is coming. This is usually where you scoop? Yeah, basically. This is where having like Witch's Oven. I was debating if Witch's Oven would be nice in this deck, because we can do things like this. Definitive Connection. Steal your Pouncing Shore Shark. Swing in. And yeah, we are going to get the life total down a little bit, but without actually being able to kill the creature, I'm not sure if it's worthwhile. So let me know in the comments, in chat, whatever, if you guys actually think Witch's Oven would be worthwhile here, or are there other cards like a Wolf Strider or something like that that could be worthwhile instead. Auspicious Strix, yeah, bounce our stuff. Still haven't hit another land. Oh, there's an Ugin. Oh, how about that? That's cool. Oh. Yeah, this deck, Simic Mutate is a busted one. And we are going to target ourselves and then let them win. If they're this close to winning, I usually like to play it out rather than just conceding, because I mean, come on, you know. All right, good game there, sir. I'm okay losing to that shenanigans sometimes. All right, up against I'm not even gonna try the name. This person. Keep this. Labyrinth Raptor, turn 2. Get a hold up shot, Definitive Connection, things like that. You know what we would love? More creatures. Not more lands. I mean, lands are cool too, but not that cool. Man, I feel like we're just running up against the same decks over and over again. Is this how it's been for you guys as well in this format? Like, I'm really worried that with Zendikar Rising, it's just gonna be this over and over again, and so that's why I'm excited to be playing a little bit more historic as well. We will be putting some focus there. Alright, do they have the Stompy? Lucky Clover number 2. Love Shook Beast. Okay. Alright, we do have a chance to kill every single one of these guys here. So Stormfist Crusader, swing in. So if they double block, we end up killing him. If they triple block, they just tried it again, where you grab all of them and connect. But no, Wizards has not fixed that yet. You have to, like, one at a time. Now watch this. So they're forced to sacrifice one of them. And then we kill the other. And then we kill the other. I mean, that was a lot of stuff to happen just to kill 1/1s. But in a Menace deck, that is important. Does it again. Good for you. Oh my gosh, alright. Tentative Connections. Alright, well, we have Embercleave, right? So we go for it. If all works out right, they can only kill one of our guys. Okay, down to 11 past the turn. Bone Crusher Giant would be annoying here. How often do you play against the same person in best of one twice in a row? That happens to me not twice in a row quite as often, but it does happen to me a lot. So here's an interesting thing. I could put a menace counter onto the Love Struck Beast. I could steal it and put Embercleave onto it. But then they have Embercleave on the Love Struck Beast. That could end up being very bad for us. Let's see here. How do you want to do this? I wish that this said, and that creature gets menace until the end of turn. That would actually be really cool. So I can equip Embercleave here. Actually, does that give us lethal? If it does, then it's worthwhile, right? Alright, so Tentative Connection, still Love Struck Beast. I can still one more and still equip. Tentative Connection, still you. Embercleave onto Love Struck Beast. Swing in. That should be, I mean, it was game without this, but that works out. Alright, sweet. Have we lost against a Temur Adventures yet? Like, this deck, I don't feel like should be beating Temur Adventures, but they've not had Lucky Clovers and Stompy yet for us. And so, I don't know. But I think that we beat them 4 different times now with this deck. Alright, up against Noriro, bringing on Noriro. And Grim Dancer into Embercleave is good if we hit red mana. I won't keep it. We are supposed to only be splashing black, but like with this hand, it works. What's up, Spank Me? Welcome. Yeah, Embercleave is a big part of the reason that this deck actually works out. Menace with Embercleave is pretty busted. Death Touch, Menace, Lifelink with Embercleave, even more busted, so we'll see how that goes again. Oh no, not more black mana. It's not what we want. Like, that is the worst draw here by far. Lucky Clover. Dude, Temur Adventures. I'm gonna get really annoyed playing this deck over and over again. Death Touch Lifelink helps with, let's go Menace Lifelink. It should just help us keep getting damage dealt, gaining life. We'll see, I've been getting more and more sponsored videos. Yeah, it helps with everything, and it makes it, like, I went full time with this channel not totally knowing if it was a smart idea, and it's been getting better and better. So I really appreciate that. It's a screwy thing to do. Stormfist Crusader for more card draw. They can let us hit our red drops potentially, our red lands. Or we go for Labyrinth Raptor. Let's hold off on that, because that's more of a better like I gotcha play. You gain some life, up to 23, down to 17, past the turn. I think a really interesting card would be something like Tentative Connection that you can do at instant speed, so that you can like take away their turn as well. Red, I think that it wouldn't typically be used that way, but it would just be an interesting extra thing that you could do. Alright, give us red mana. That is not red mana. So I can keep the damage rolling through by playing Tentative Connection. They can kill the Stormfist Crusader, but that loses them 2 1/1s. I can play Stormfist Crusader number 2. I can play Death Touching Lifelinker here. Let's go, yeah, Death Touch, Lifelink. We basically stop them from attacking in, and we just pass the turn. If they have Brazen Borrowers, if they have Stomps, life is very, very bad for us here, but we'll just keep on going. What do I think of the new Jace and Nahiri? The new Jace, because it's 3 mana, it's definitely going to see play. It's a good card. Oh, bounce all of our stuff. Yay. Alright, this is more how I've always expected our matchups with Temur Adventures to go. And yeah, we don't really have a chance coming after this. If we had had red mana for Embercleave and avoided that turn, it might be a better chance, but we're gonna steal your Edgewelling Keeper. Take that, fool. Alright, now we can see. Oh, yeah. Oof, 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 oof. Up against Waterfish. Keep this. This is a perfect hand, in fact. Field the QC. Shock. Give me shock. Fail. Yorvo. Yorvo's annoying. Grim Dancer with Death Touch can be pretty nice, though. Just as a answer. And then we just try to get our board big enough to swing through before they can actually swing back. Yeah, take 4. Not playing another creature yet beforehand. Pass the turn. They may just be Gilded Goosey-ing. Okay, that's fine. Grim Dancer. We're the dancers. Menace with the Sonorous Hellbonder is better. Lifelink is also pretty good. So Death Touch Lifelink could be really nice here. We want Death Touch for sure. I'm going to say Menace. That may come back to haunt me. I think the life gain against this deck might have been better. We shall see. Surprised Tom let me out of the new tank he built. More people saying I look like Tom Cruise, if that's what it is. Trample. Uh-oh. That's bad. Primal Might. Do you have flippin' everything? Most likely. They do fight still, so the Death Touch will still kill this. Kills there. Yeah, alright. We'll go for the trade. They definitely get a lot of value ahead here. That's really nice. We get to start playing things like Tectonic Giant. Pass the turn. Okay, play Triome. Having the card draw might have been nice. We play Howlbonder and then Tentative Connection to the Harbinger. I don't want to keep that Tectonic Giant to block it, so like I'd rather just try to get value as well as they do. Get some more card draw. Bone Crush is good. Down to 15. Pass the turn. There's a Gargaroth. Yeah, Gargaroths are bad. No block, I'll take it. They get a more card draw. Maybe I should just be blocking that. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Ooh. Embercleave. Let's see, how much mana do we have here? So we have to spend 5 on the attack, or to put Embercleave on, so Shock here is perfect, actually. I was thinking that we could do it a little bit better. Oh, this is perfect. Alright, so they do get answers now. We get to Embercleave. Onto Giant. We get to Shock, kill the Gargaroth. We have another one, but we dealt with them for now. Booyah. And we lost the Bone Crushy. Kills Embercleave. Yeah. Swings for 8. Scavenging Ooze. Yeah, this is looking bad. I should have blocked there, I think. Oh, and Questing Beast. Alright, yeah. Good thing everything's not going to crap. Yep, we're done. We're done. Yeah. Yeah, big green stuff is good, especially when they have a lot of the answers. Alright, in wrap up for this deck, I think overall the deck is really fun. I think it's good. I think that the numbers, you know, you could tweak this deck a little bit to try to fit exactly what you want a little bit more. It's just a fun deck. I like trying to build decks that are based around a certain game plan or game style that is not typical. It's something that you don't always see. And this fits that. It's exactly what I want out of a deck like this, because it's fun to play, it's interesting. It uses, like, there are some rares, but it's really not that expensive. There's not, I don't think, any mythics outside of Embercleave. Embercleave is needed, but it's one of those cards that, like, if you play any aggro decks at all, you probably have a few copies anyway, and you just try to get you throw as many as you have in here, and otherwise you build it up with other stuff. You know, there's other not as good menace creatures you can play in here as well, so overall, I think the deck is fun. I think it's powerful. More powerful than I was expecting it to be, honestly. I think there's certain cards that, like, we never really played Fill Scare Mentor. I think that the format might be a little bit too quick for that. So then you just bring in other good 2-drops and things. Like, I could see you playing Robber of the Rich. I know that's another mythic card, but if you have any of them, Robber of the Rich is a great 2-drop that's in here that just speeds up the clock, gets a little bit faster. If you're playing this in normal standard, throwing in Knight of the Even Legion or other menace creatures is also really powerful. So I think overall the deck is really fun. I actually was really impressed with how good Grim Dancer was just in general. Like, even without playing menace stuff, like, I think I've slept a little bit on this card. And so I think it's powerful, I think it's good. If you guys like the video, like this kind of content, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you guys want to check me out on Twitch, follow me with the link down in the description below. Also check out MTG Assistant, where it lets you shows you all the different stats that you have, all that kind of stuff in here. Unfortunately, with the newer decks, it's not quite up to speed just because it doesn't have the standard 2021 format in the system just yet. But it does show you all your wins and losses. You can also kind of see here just your account statistics, all the people you've played recently. It shows you how many wins, losses you have, your recent opponents. So you can kind of just see how your deck actually performs, how it does, and that is just nice to have sometimes, to say, okay, this is how it actually works out. So anyway, check out MTG Assistant, also down in the description down below.